Always fun when we're live with John Sauve. We are live. Now that I've made you move from your window, we can all see you.
Well, I was showing off my garden, though.
Yeah, you were showing off a shadow. So I should tell everyone, we have no idea what could possibly go wrong today or happen today, but I am here with one of my dearest friends. I was going to say oldest, but God, I hate when someone does that to me.
But it would be true.
It would be true. You are one of my oldest, dearest, wisest, keeper of some keeper of some secrets. But
and have photos to prove it.
Yeah, I have photos to prove it too.
Well, you sent me the photos, so
that's true. Leave it up to us women to keep the photos. That will come back to bite us in the butt later on.
Yes, it will.
I said to you yesterday, I guess I should prepare, and then I went a little busy lately, so I did not prepare for this interview.
Sure you did. Come on. Extensive research went into this.
Yes, so. I don't feel like I really need to prepare really to talk to you, because the truth is that I was promoting for everyone to come on and watch us have fun today. But the truth is, I always say, if you look up in the skyline, there's the little red man on buildings, which so many people do know you for, the man in the city. But, and we can talk about that today, but really why I wanted to talk to you today is a while back we were talking offline about all these wonderful new kind of things that you're doing with public art. You're always doing something really cool with public art in Michigan, New York, wherever it is, Arizona, Florida. I mean, wherever your art will go in a truck, there you go. So welcome, John Sauve. I haven't been doing FaceTime Lives, and so it was really kind of fun to kick this back off and have you come back on with me. So
no, thanks for the invite, Siri, as always. Hey, I like your shirt. I know where you got it.
Well, you know what? I got up this morning, and this shirt is like for two reasons. One, I love this shirt. It is definitely my motto. It is by our dear friend Rob Smith of the Fluid Project. We've all been friends for a long time. I always say you do you, but the truth of the matter is, when I think about talking to you, you know, I thought this is a perfect shirt for you, because the truth is, you just are kind of, I think of you in that same light, that you just have always done you. And
is that a good thing?
No, I think it's a really good thing. And I think, you know, it's probably why the three of us have been friends for so long. That and God knows who else would have us.
I don't know. We have fun.
I don't know. And maybe Rob will pop on here. We need to get him on at some point. But, you know, this is he knows this. This is one of my favorite shirts. And a lot of people have asked me for it too. So I would like the Fluid Project to actually do this shirt again, because so many people would love this shirt.
Maybe the Fluid Project can include it in its Target collection.
I know.
Yeah. I think that's where he is right now. So
am I
not supposed to say that out loud?
Nah, you know, it's good for him. I've been trying to get him. I've been trying to get him to do a FaceTime Live, but you know that Rob Smith is often busy.
Oh yeah, gotta be his own guy for sure. So yeah, so I talked to him yesterday. We're working on a project. He's got a place in the Hamptons, and he wants to put a sculpture on the property. I think it's a couple acres, and he said that his next door neighbor keeps asking about installing the sculpture. So I'm hoping that we pull that off in the fall. And you know his neighbor.
Is that an invitation? I do know his neighbor. That may be a secret, though.
I don't think so.
No?
Is it?
Okay.
I mean, because I care more about her than him.
I know. You want to tell everyone who Rob's neighbor is?
Well, she happens to run her own Prosecco company.
She does.
So
So I'm just wondering, was that an invitation to road trip to the Hamptons that you were
I
just
think it
saying?
was.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I need some guidance while I'm there, don't I?
Oh, okay.
So,
I was just checking that. I often invite myself, and Rob tells me anytime, but that just sounded like an invitation to a road trip.
yes, it does. I
Okay.
think
So enough
it's
about
a pretty.
Robert. Enough about Rob Smith. You know, he needs to
Let's
either
talk
come
more
on.
about Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he either needs to come on or just come on and talk to me. Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
So what's going on with John Sauve? What has John Sauve been up to? Especially like, how are you handling all this COVID business?
Oh, well, it one of the things that happened, obviously, that we're all on quarantine here in Michigan, and so I had a lot of time at home to finish up some projects. Not all of them; they're spread all over the place. But yeah, I was home. I found plenty to do while I was here. I went for long walks every day, which was good. So
So
kind of staying healthy or at least
were
moving.
you scouting
Okay, not
areas?
healthy. Oh yeah,
Were
no, I
you,
brought stuff home every day too. So I found debris that I brought home and worked on. I have a whole bunch of wood carvings in the front yard, part of my COVID project. So,
okay. Where are those going?
oh, right now they're in the front yard. So I
Okay.
don't know where they're going to end up eventually, but it was fun. It was all right.
Yeah.
But I finished up some bigger projects and I've done installs that were supposed to be dedications this year that are going to actually be postponed until next year. But the installs did take place. One in South Haven, one in Grand Haven, and one other one in Michigan City. So those were the ones that we were supposed to have all these dedications, and we'll just have to postpone it a year, which is okay. Like Grand Haven, the whole riverfront's being redone right now, so it'll look much nicer next year when we have the install or the dedication. So, but
So when
one of the
you
things I was going to tell you. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead,
well,
Siri.
I want to ask you this question. When you get when places like Grand Haven or South Haven have you do a sculpture, is that through their art? Is it art foundation? How does that work? I mean, and the reason I ask that is because, you know, I like to promote you, as you know.
Oh, well, thank you.
And, you know, if you live in this area of Detroit and you drive down Woodward, you see a lot of public art, some of which is yours as you go through Ferndale. You see your sculptures. And I always think like, well, we need more. I mean, it really beautifies these roundabouts and so what's the process if someone, not just here in Michigan, because these sculptures move, they can go other places.
They can. The goal is always to be permanent, but it doesn't always hold true. And some of these shows are, 1 and 2 year shows. All depends on the community and how it's set up. Some of them are just independent projects that I've set up. But for the case of South Haven, they have a public art exhibit that they put on every couple of years. And the work was selected and installed through that program. With Grand Haven, I had been working with their public art department for the last 5 years. And
Okay.
so that piece is permanent and it is installed right as you're coming down Main Street. It kind of dead ends into the Chamber of Commerce building where the grandstands are for the magical music fountain. So right
Yeah.
next to the new grandstands they just built for the fountain is the piece. And it's right in front of the chamber. So it's a great spot. But
It's so
that whole
funny.
riverfront.
I have such fond memories of like
Oh,
driving
you
up.
grew up right there.
Well, I grew
Yeah.
up in Grand Rapids, but we would go to that Grand Fountain, and that was like a thing to do. I mean, it was an easy drive, and
So what was your favorite, Led Zeppelin or was
yeah,
it Mozart?
you know I'm a Bowie fan, Dowie. So
Yeah, because isn't it every night it's a different
yeah,
band?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and it's music and lasers and
hmm
water, right? Is there water
yeah,
too?
yeah. Oh yeah, it was like
So,
the huge fountains, and I mean, I don't even know. Are they still doing it this summer? Even with
You know what? I don't know. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're still doing it. And it used to be, remember, they were like old bleachers that they had that you could sit in, and now they redid the whole riverfront. So they've got this these tiers of natural grass and kind of a paved riverfront. It's really going to be nice, and that's the good thing is next year it's going to be so much better when they finish up that that whole drive down the riverfront, and better time for a dedication next year.
I mean, I think we have to. It's funny because I always see on Facebook too people looking for things to do this summer. So that's a good one for it's an easy drive, a good place for people to go. It's a beautiful little community, So.
Well, and I happen to be partial to all of Lake Michigan, and for the last 10 years I've been installing in every town I can because I just love going over there. It's beautiful. Like South Haven, same thing. It's got a great beach and a great riverfront, and they have a lot of activity too. A little different. Working a lot in Saugatuck and Douglas as well. Great little town for going to dinner or just hanging out. Best beach, of course, is Oval Beach in Saugatuck.
Right. That's such a big art community. I mean, such a supportive art community.
Yeah, we did. Actually, I've been working with Oxbow, which is the Chicago Institute of Arts. It's over 100 years old, and it's their summer retreat is in Saugatuck, Douglas. Right, they have their own little lake, and they have artists in residence, and they have classes. And the last 2 years, I got some of my kids. I got a program in Benton Harbor where I got some of the kids actually were able to get a scholarship to Oxbow, get one college credit. And one young man has done an amazing job. He came through our program around Muhammad Ali in Benton Harbor. He excelled. He showed interest in the arts as well as other things too. He's the youngest of 10 kids, single mother. No one in his family has gone to college, and we got him 2 college credits 2 years in a row at Oxbow. So he's tasted the college experience through Oxbow, through the arts, and he is enrolled in his first semester at junior college at Lake Michigan College this year. So he's the first in his family, the youngest in his family, and the first to go to college. And his entryway was through the arts, and it was all driven by him. We just provided the opportunities. So about that. I'm also really thankful for our relationship with Oxbow, that they're willing to support our kids when they come over there. So it's been a great experience.
When you tell a story like that, one of the things that does worry me for the fall is the arts. And so a lot of the kids are going to be online and virtual. And you do a lot of after school type of programs, or have through the YMCA down in Detroit, and summer programs, and everything is sort of had to shift gears since March. And art itself is usually face to face. I mean, you're physically helping kids, being right there with them. And I wonder, have you thought about, what kind of programs you might do? I mean, I fear so much, you and I both, we had a lot of fun in college. We weren't we didn't love necessarily the academic experience. We were more the creative types. But I worry about kids when, you take away art, music, gym classes. And, I'm wondering, have you given much thought to how you might be doing some things in the fall?
I'm glad you asked. That was like a lob ball. This is too easy. I'm working. Oh,
good, because here's one that we haven't talked about. So I'm always careful. I don't ask a question I don't know, but knowing you.
Oh no.
Knowing you, you're on it.
Oh no,
And
this
here,
is
something you haven't told me yet that we're gonna, be.
oh no, I've got more for you. But this is a good one because so back in probably February, March timeframe, I was having this very conversation, like, what are we going to do for this downtime? And
Yeah.
everything's closed up. We were on quarantine, and an idea came up for art in a box. And so 12 by 12 box filled with art supplies and um, little lesson plans from different local artists, put on a little thumb drive. You put it in, you go through each part. It's layered. Each one of the lesson plans is wrapped up individually inside this box. And so we started one called Art in the Box. This theme was Italy this year. So I didn't take the lead on it, but I had a hand in helping craft this box. And it's available through ARS Arts and Culture out of Benton Harbor. And they've been servicing kids all summer with these boxes and shipping them out too. So people that have been on lockdown with their kids, here's a box with all the art supplies you need, the lesson plans included. And so it was so successful, we were able to build in a couple other versions of it that are going to be released here in the next couple of weeks, one of which revolves around the sculpture project, which is I Am the Greatest, revolving around Muhammad Ali in Benton Harbor and St. Joe. There's probably 30 of the Muhammad Ali sculptures on buildings throughout the two communities, in front of the Krasl, in front of the Heritage Museum, and they've been included on traveling shows too, just to draw attention to Muhammad Ali's legacy and that he lived in that area. And we've been doing for 10 years, next year will be the 10-year anniversary of our I Am the Greatest project. So we are boxing up one of the miniature wood sculptures of Muhammad Ali and making that into an art in the box program too. And that'll be released here in the fall. So kids can actually take the program that we've been doing, the one that I just mentioned that we took some kids to Oxbow on, and we're going to have an at-home version of that. So when kids are looking for something in the fall, we'll have a similar thing where they can decorate and then hear a couple lesson plans from some of our educators we've been working with for the last 10 years.
I love that. I mean, that will be released not just beyond Michigan. That should be released nationally, right?
Oh yeah, it's all available through the gallery and through the art center, and I'll have a link for you.
Yeah, I think
our interview here.
Yeah, no, I think a link would be really important. I think, we've just made, again, I say again because I think, it's not the first time, but we're really trying to focus on Black Lives Matter, and here's such an important historical figure in our in our own community in Michigan and beyond. But I think kids really need to learn about Muhammad Ali and a sports figure, and kids learn differently. Historic figures and to learn about who lived in Michigan. I mean, there's lots of different lessons to be learned, and additionally through with art. So I love that. I mean, I think that's great. I do worry.
It's interesting you say that because the whole thing about Muhammad Ali came about because when I started working in the area, I said, I know he's around here. Can we work with him? And so we put together a program. We put together an image that we've been working with for the last 10 years. The whole public art sculpture program that we put together was to raise awareness, not only for the arts and how they were devastated, 10 years ago was the downturn in the economy again, where everything was cut from all the local schools in Benton Harbor. And excuse me. So that's one of the exciting things is we've been reintroducing a local legend to the population in St. Joe and Benton Harbor that weren't aware. And it's a positive Black role model that we've been very successful with. And we've had a lot of kids go through our program, the I Am the Greatest program at ARS Arts and Culture. And these kids get a chance to learn about public art. They learn about community. They learn about Muhammad Ali's life and what he did and what he stood up for and what he believed in, which is
Yep.
very timely right now. And
Extremely.
one of the
Yeah,
things
I mean,
is,
and that's
you know,
why I
you need
think
positive role models, and you
yes.
need positive Black role models for Benton Harbor, especially.
Yeah.
So one of our kids, I got to tell you this because you just mentioned a whole bunch of stuff, and I got to unpack it for you. One of our kids who went through the program was the lead on a Black Lives Matter mural in front of the Benton Harbor High School this past weekend. And I was excited because he took the initiative. He contacted all the local businesses. He got Whirlpool and he got the hospital and everybody to back him and support and buy the paint. And it was a good community project. Black Lives Matter is not a terrorist organization. It's an organization and a movement to address concerns within the Black community that are valid. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing to be afraid of. And if you came out and saw the community come together to paint this mural in front of the high school with a positive message for kids at that high school, predominantly Black high school, it was a really special event. Most importantly for me, this is one of these kids who went through, took all this on, and he was transformed by being a leader for this whole project. For me, the exciting thing is, over the last couple of months, we've made some breakthroughs with the high school. There's a new superintendent, and he's excited about being a part of our 10-year anniversary for the I Am the Greatest project. And he's agreed to use the high school and the kids for our speaker program next year, which we're going to kick off with Lonnie Ali. Muhammad and Lonnie Ali were very supportive of the project from the get-go. They have a sculpture in their living room. With Muhammad Ali's passing, Lonnie has still been very positive and supportive of the project, and she's agreed next time she's in town this next year, we're setting up the dates. She's going to come in and talk to the kids at the high school about his legacy and living in the community and positive outcomes for hopefully everybody involved.
So if a teacher is, listening right now, and I just looked at my phone and somebody asked a question, if they want to incorporate this into a curriculum or get more information on this particular I Am the Greatest program from you, how would they go about finding more information about that particular project? Would they go to?
Well, we're going to have a link after this interview. I'll have a link for the Art Center in Benton Harbor, which can help them with those boxes. We can help them with the history of our program. We can help them with our 10-year anniversary and some of the programming we have available with it. We also have lesson plans that we do when we do an I Am the Greatest course, which is usually 2 weeks. We bring kids through from the community and they go through all these different things that we just talked about, where they're learning more about their community, learning about the legacy. We also expose them to a lot of people in the community that they didn't know about before, and show them that they can have an effect on it. The whole premise, since you have a call that just asks you what's about, the whole premise is it's concept to finished product. We usually start these kids with design. We have them interpret their lives into the artwork, and then we have a reception forum at the end in which they discuss what they learned over the last 2 weeks, and they bring their parents in, and we have a reception with food and some pop for them, and they are the ones that host the whole reception. They're the ones in charge. They plan it, and it doesn't always work, but usually I get one or two where you can see there was a transformation, and those are transferable skills that they can use to any aspect of their life. And we've had kids go on, like I said, to get college credit where there was no hope and no guidance, and it was all their initiative. We just gave them the opportunity to be who they are and have this opportunity to see where they want to go and support them in any way we can to get there. And that's really the cool thing about this. It's connecting parts of the community where all it is just a little magnet where we bring the kids in, we put the time into them, we bring mentors in all the time to try and encourage them to get an active role in it and spend time and help develop these kids. And it's really, brokering people's time for a positive outcome. But we do that with I Am the Greatest, as well as that's what I was doing. You had mentioned it earlier. That's what I did, have been doing with the Bull Family YMCA in Detroit, Big Brothers, Big Sisters out of Oakland County. My current one is the Center for Success out of the Packard plant. I've been working with Andrea there for a number of years too.
And what are you doing with that one?
Well, the kids there, it's an after-school, primarily a reading program and a homework program. And Andrea is amazing. She has these kids come in, and she's not only the director of the program, she's not only an educator, she drives the bus to pick them up as well. And she's always looking for volunteers. And she's been very successful. She's a hard charger. She makes everything happen, and she's very welcoming.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second, since we have a phone call live?
We do. We do.
Am I taking a live phone call on air right now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, what?
Why isn't he tagging in? Why doesn't he just jump on board?
What's your live phone call?
I'm calling to give my feedback and insight on John Sauve.
And what would be your feedback on John Sauve?
Gosh, are you gonna edit out explicit words?
No, it's live.
This is live, all right.
Everybody, Rob Smith from the Fluid Project, who has made my shirt today that says "You Do You." You can get you can get it at thefluidproject.com.
Sari, this is your chance to invite yourself to his house for the install.
Oh yeah, I'm
being such a great supporter.
And also I'm inviting myself to the Hamptons again.
Whenever you want, except it's rented out right now.
Yeah, I hear.
So yeah. But when we're back there again, you can come whenever you want.
For the install, Rob.
Talking about John
so
Sauve. Talking about Johnson.
John Sauve said for the install.
Bringing an art installation specifically for Christy Brinkley to see. That's his entire objective.
Well, way to spill the beans. I didn't use her name. I just said it was sponsored by Alyssa Prosecco.
Rob.
You didn't?
No, we were really PC about it.
Discreet about it? No, I mean, you got to manifest it.
Rob, this is crazy. This is nuts.
That's what you want. Be really clear about it. That's what I think.
What did you say, John?
I said, Rob, this is crazy. This is nuts. He had me do a Chevy Chase impersonation from Vacation yesterday.
I probably already said that to him in reference to Vacation, of course.
See, you have to understand that John's objective is to meet Rob's next door neighbor, Christy Brinkley, and really, I'm just going to the Hamptons.
You're just going to Hamptons, right? You're coming to hang out.
I got to be honest, at 54 years old, do I need to stand next to Christy Brinkley? I don't think so, boy.
I'll stand next to her. I'll take the hit.
In her mid-60s, she gives us all hope and inspiration for not just how she looks, but her amazing attitude in life. She's a ray of light. Just like John Wendell Sauve is. So
you two are my ray of light.
Sari, get a date
Robert
out of him.
Smith, when are you doing my FaceTime live? And we're going to talk about all the, Pride Month. Although Pride Month to me is, 12 months a year. So
let's talk about that. Let's say Pride is evergreen. Pride is certainly we focus on the month of June, but gosh, LGBTQ folks exist all year long.
That's right. You told me I had to wait till June is over, and we're into August now. So
so now I've got lots of available. I can clear my not so busy schedule for you, right? Whenever you want, Sari.
Really, John? Are you buying that?
So I don't know if the people.
I think he just invited us for the install.
We were freshmen in college, which was 1983, right?
Yeah.
Yes, golly, that's a long time ago. But yeah,
we've known each other all a really long time, keeping each other's secrets. John and I were just talking about all the amazing things he's doing with kids in public art this fall, since my biggest fear is their art classes are going to be taken away from them while they're all virtual.
Yep. Well, it's up to the parents then to do that.
That's right.
Or we have an alternative. Rob didn't hear the alternative.
More than just reading, writing, and math. It's arts is essential for human development and creativity.
So it's one of the reasons I actually hang with you guys, because John is like creating all kinds of different curriculums. You're putting, like, making sure the LGBTQ community is forefront. Not, as you and I say, not in June during Pride Month, because 12 months of the year should be Pride Month, which is why it's, I'll put my plug out there. It's really important everyone to vote.
Sure.
Why don't you ask Rob what he did this morning?
I don't care how you vote in person. Put a mask on, vote by mail, walk your ballot. You know me, vote early and often, twice if you have to.
Vote local too. People can't forget about that. Local politics matters.
Local politics, absolutely. Local politics matter.
Yeah.
Ask Rob what he did this morning.
You know, every vote counts, and when you think about the last few elections, how close they were, you know, it's it's our right, it's our privilege to vote.
100%. John had a question for you. I don't think you could hear you. He wondered where you were this morning.
I'm in New York City right now, and I'm about to drive over the Williamsburg Bridge right now. I was just at a video shoot this morning. So I'm heading back to Manhattan.
Oh.
Video shoot for?
Oh, for the Fluid Project, for some campaigns that I'm working on right now. Yeah.
He can say, so he can tell us that Christy Brinkley lives next door, but he's like being a little evasive here about the Fluid. We'll have to drag that out of him.
This is all about John right now.
It is.
Oh yeah,
John.
whatever.
So I'll be sending you a link, and I'll just drag that crap out of you about the Fluid Project. What's going on?
I just wanted to talk shit about John right now.
You can't talk shit about John.
Sure he can.
John was my roommate in college, and John, we had to share the basement together. And John was, how do I say this? John collected pieces that he put in the art. Lots of people considered it junk, but not John. He saw the potential in everything.
Don't you think John was the original Heidelberg project?
I think so.
I think the Heidelberg, I'm sorry, I really do. Like I often say, like, you were, John. You were like the creator of.
You're talking about the things that Rob had to walk around to get into his room?
Mm-hmm. John,
oh, he can't hear me.
He said that you collected things.
Oh, no, I know, but he had to walk around those things. They were covering his door. He could barely get in half the time. So.
I just want to know, what the things moving?
No, they were just things that some people would put it out on the street as trash, and John would say, "That's not trash. That is possible art." Collect things, and eventually they pile up for a while, and you turn them into art.
You're forgetting that John cooked for our sorority house. I can't imagine what he took out of our.
Yeah, he fed us through your sorority.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, we had a different theme every night, didn't we not, Sari?
FaceTime Live has taken a whole different turn.
Remember, we had a different art theme every night.
My appreciation for both you and John for being such incredible humans and friends and supporters for, oh my gosh, I can't do the math, for almost 40 years. How's that?
Okay, John's rolling his eyes. I just love you.
I love you too. I know.
Which is why I'm telling you, I woke up this morning without any thought and I put on my "You Do You" t-shirt, because like it just was one of those mornings. And I actually want a poster of this, and I need the Fluid Project to remake these shirts, because there's not a day that doesn't go by that when I wear this shirt, people don't want to like steal it from me. I could resell it a million times. So.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I think this needs.
Redo you to you. Okay.
I think you need to redo these shirts.
All right. Well, back to your subject, your primary subject.
Yeah. Well, we'll hang up on you. We'll finish with John, and
well,
Sari,
lock him in on a date.
Oh, I was just about to say, we'll see you in the Hamptons.
We'll see you in the Hamptons.
Exactly.
Sculpture reveal.
I mean, John's sculpture reveal, and I definitely drink Prosecco. If anyone knows me,
I know someone who owns a company.
Yeah. Christie's, I think, product. So we'll be drinking that. She'll drop off cases for the opening.
And cases are not a problem. No problem.
Personally.
Right.
She'll deliver.
Smith of the Fluid Project, I will call you later because we'll do a whole FaceTime live together, and then John can drop in. Hey, love to you and Rod.
Love to you too. Bye.
Bye. Oh, crazy.
Oh, look at that. Told you he'd call.
He doesn't miss a chance to, driving on the Williamsburg Bridge.
Yeah.
This is the life of Rob.
Right.
I usually text him and say, I need to talk to you. Where are you? He's one of those, you never know where he.
Oh, no, and it's always entertaining. I talked to him last night. And one of the things, though, I wanted to mention, it wasn't conducive with him calling in. He should have been logged into this. It would have been much better. But then we could have talked about what you did back in the fall when we hosted the Ruth Ellis Center at the Fluid Project. And it was a great experience for the kids who did the artwork in Detroit at the Ruth Ellis Center. And they had an opportunity to show their work at Rob's place. And we had the reception. And, it's a great opportunity. And for some of those kids, that's something that they will take with them and make it part of, their future, that they had the opportunity to show their work in New York at Rob's at the Fluid Project.
And
I meant to thank him.
Yeah. Well, I have to say a couple things about, our friendship, because it is like all about those partnerships and connections. And Rob, you have, and I have this connection with Ruth Ellis, and Rob has connections in New York, and we joke a lot about it. But the truth of the matter is the three of us had been friends a long time, and we utilize our friendship for those powers of bringing people together and the things that we love and that we're passionate about. And it's that love of, your artwork, me wanting to share what you guys do, and that storytelling. I love can you hear my landscapers are outside so loud. And Rob, Rob, I say just has really come to find such happiness in what he's doing now with the Fluid Project of sharing, making sure that the LGBTQ community is heard very loudly. But, we're in such a weird time, where he's his own business, everybody's business, the art world has to really, I refuse to always say the new normal. I do not use that messaging. I use the words adaptability, because I think that we have to learn to adapt and change just for now. And maybe we're adapting in another month and adapting again, because we don't know, what tomorrow looks like. And I don't want to call this normal, because normal to me is being able to hug you guys. We might still talk like this, but if I saw you, I would give you a hug. And right now, with everything going on, we have to be so careful with that. And I think that art brings people together. And with what you're doing, you have to adapt so much. And so I really want to say, it's always so energizing and exciting to know you, because that's what you do all the time. Even through COVID, you're just constantly looking for new ways of bringing art to people, to kids especially. I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing this year to make sure art gets in the hands of kids. Often they're kids less privileged, more than that. And so they don't have the resources that other kids have. So I'm excited for you to share with me so we can share it together. That was a hint. Tell me before, not
you're
after.
asking for something?
Make sure you tell me before.
Oh.
But
okay, I will.
Is there any, before we sort of say goodbye, although you and I are going to have a Zoom call on Thursday I'm excited about, offline.
Yes, we are.
Is there any big project or anything you want to tell people about?
Well, I want to tell you that I'm coming on your show again because I never even got a chance to tell you about what my next project is. And oh no, it's something that I've been working on for about 5 years, and it's a whole other call because it's really cool.
Okay.
It's something special, and I'm going to tell you more about it on Thursday when we talk with Ida.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm going to get a different
old friend.
Yeah. Which Ida, we did the Covenant House, and that's what our meeting on Thursday is working with her. I was able to, with you, get one of the lead automotive designers in Detroit to design a mural at Covenant House, which is pretty timely. It's a Detroit Proud mural, and that's what our topic is on Thursday, and I am looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, so we're gonna stay tuned for that, because we're really going to, I mean, just to give a little teaser, I have some great models, influencers who want to come out and take pictures and really showcase that artwork. And we're going to talk more about that. But yeah, for sure, we'll have you on where Rob, doesn't jump on and say hi to us.
Oh no,
but that's just how it is with us.
No, Sarah, we just locked it in. We're going to the Hamptons. I think that was the main crux. We have proof. It's been recorded.
It is not a problem. Look, it takes nothing for me to want to go to New York, as my daughter lives there, and I know I apparently need to be a chaperone to you too, of Rob's neighbor. So
yes, absolutely.
I have chaperoned the two of you before. I can do it again.
Cases of Prosecco, cases and cases. That's all I heard.
I heard cases. Anyway, my dear friend, I encourage everyone when they're, driving around Detroit, I always say, look up, look for the little red guy, man of the city. I don't know, how many are there now? Over 30 or something?
Well, on rooftops, there are over 100 in the city of Detroit.
Over 100? Oh my God, I lost it.
Yeah.
So look up.
Yeah, you lost count.
Little red. I know. They're little red sculptures. They're little red sculptures because they're way up high on a rooftop. They're not so little. But they're the man in the city. Often you wonder who's behind that. The artist is John Sauve. Sauve
Unless there's trouble.
Foundation.
They only say it's Rob Smith if there's trouble. Totally deflect.
No. John Sauve.
All right.
And,
all right, so
we're gonna have lots of links up when I repost this, so you can hear more about the I Am the Greatest project for teachers. And I mean, they can find you on Facebook, your website. I always say Google this man, and lots of great articles about things you have done. One one of the first. I mean, there's so much we didn't talk about, but we've talked a long time. So.
Nope, and we're going to have another one for my next project. And I'm sorry, I'm inviting myself back to your show because you're going to love this next project. So.
Open.
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you until we do it again.
Open.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
teasers. Okay, good.
Talk to you
Thursday. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.